I think part of what made it cemented as a hobby was that it's not just like train spotting where the name or the numbers on the thing, so all you have to do is read it. There's quite an intellectual challenge to bird watching. Bird identification is in some cases extremely difficult. Some birds are very, very similar to others, and you need to have a quite logical approach. It's a complex, the person who thinks he can identify every bird in every plumage, every season, in any light, is kidding themselves.
We've got all sorts of wildlife here, be it plants, be it birds, be it lots of mammals, and they're things that are here because we look after the ground. We manage the habitat, and they want to be here for all sorts of reasons, mainly because there's plenty of food, and so they're here. So they're not in cages, they're wild, you never know what you're going to see.
We visited Saltholme Nature Reserve on the 13th of June 2011.
Saltholme is on the edge of the River Tees and has lots of interesting things to see.
Here are a few things we've done there.
We visited huts and recorded lots of birds.
My first impressions were, wow, this is a hidden gem in the northeast. Why don't more people know about this? Absolutely fantastic, blew my mind. And the way they got it set up so you can see the birds, and it's not just about the birds, it's about the nature. So that's the first thing that blew me away. It's a case of like, wow, this is something special.
We might have birds dropping in from all over the world on their migration journeys. Saltholme's a great venue for them. I always say it's either a bit like an airport or a bit like a McDonald's, because the birds can come down, they can get some fast food in all our water, in our mud, in the grass that we have, and then fly off back to wherever they're going or continue their journey, or maybe hang around here for a bit. The East Atlantic Flyway, one of the largest animal migration routes in the world. Saltholme is a hub for birds, like a busy airport. Millions of birds fly south in autumn to escape the winter cold.
I recorded the sound of the wind from outside, and it actually sounded like a bass line. It's very interesting sound because it sounds like the wind and it sounds like birds, but it's also musical. And that, coupled with the speech about what Saltholme is, I thought was a great introduction.
We have learned how to do a rhythm on the sounds of birds.
We saw different types of birds. We also enjoyed drawing birds.
I enjoyed finding out different names of birds.
I enjoyed looking in the head and recording the bird noises.
I enjoyed learning different rhythms and playing instruments with Dominic.
I enjoyed looking at the swans.
While we were working with Dom, the sound artist, that it was a way of thinking about sort of sound through the ages, really, and working with our local archaeological service, they talked about how ancient peoples who would have lived here, actually, it would have been a method of communication. So it's a very, very simple piece of wood on a long string, really, that you zoom around your head. But there's, a suggestion that they'd have used that for communicating.
It's a really interesting, especially when you go to foreign places, if you get really good guides and you're interested in just more than the birding, you finish up learning a huge amount about the culture of places.
So have you been to places which were on the migration route of the same birds you get here? So
I've been working with Dom while recording sounds inside and outside.
Yeah, that's the stuff we did inside. And when we were outside, we recorded the birds and the wind and the digger. Remember the digger? We recorded the digger, all that, yeah? Yeah. So basically, they had carte blanche to record whatever they wanted. Some people had camcorders which we used for the audio purposes. Some people had handheld audio recorders. And it was basically a case of capturing not just the bird sounds, but the sounds of the whole environment. So that would be the bird sounds, the sounds of the grass, the sounds of the wind, the sounds of some insects, you know, the sounds of the structures, the wooden structures they have there, all those sorts of things.
2,000 lapwings. 2,000 lapwings. 2,000 lapwings.
When we went to Saltholme, we seen loads of different birds. And there was some red-headed ones, greenish, greyish bellied ones, and a big black one.
Malawi, I do too, and that gets things like willow warblers and other